It's Plush tonight, showcasing the latest in professional spa treatments from Plush Medical Spa, Westgate Parkway, Dothan. With owner and medical director Dr. Amanda Bell, board certified in internal medicine. Here's Dr. Bell with your host, Barbara Kennedy.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Plush Tonight. We're here at Plush Medical Spa, located on Westgate Parkway in Dothan, Alabama. Hello, I'm Babs Kennedy, and we're here with Dr. Amanda Bell. What are we going to have tonight? This is going to be exciting.
Well, we have a gentleman's show tonight.
Ooh.
We're going to be highlighting all of the features of our Gentleman's Day at the Spa package, as well as some general good ideas for men's skincare. And we have a fellow here that's going to get a Dysport treatment. Dysport is the other type of botulinum toxin type A. Most people are more familiar with Botox, but we do a whole lot more Dysport here than Botox. So Dysport and Botox work the same way. They're the same identical toxin. They just have small modifications that make them a little bit different. Dysport works a little bit more quickly, and they both last the same length of time. So we're going to be doing a treatment on a gentleman today instead of our typical female victim.
Well, this is great because a medical spa isn't just for ladies, it's for men too.
No, you're right, that's true, but most of our clientele are women. We probably have about 15% men, and men do come in for massages, but I think they neglect to realize how important skincare is and how much we can do for them here. It's not as frou-frou as they think it is probably. So in any event, the Dysport product is on special. Right now they're doing a $50 to $100 rebate depending on whether you've had Botox or before. You get $50 for any treatment. You get additional $50 if you've had a Botox treatment within the last year. And that's going to be running through September 30th of 2011, so quite a while.
Well, that's great. Here we are with Rachel Bland. She's our general manager at Plush Medical Spa. Rachel, tell us some more about what you do for the men's show.
Well, for the men's episode, I'd like to put a lot of emphasis on men's skincare. A lot of men are very neglectful of their skin. It's not emphasized to them like it is to women their entire lives, so of course they don't think about it. But it's just as important to take care of your facial features just like women do. We have everything from the Clarisonic here. We have our customized facials, and we have products here to offer too. The Clarisonic, which is displayed in this box here, this brush there, it's the gray Clarisonic Pro, which is fantastic because it's just like the other Clarisonics that we have to offer, but a little bit more masculine in color. It has several speed settings, 4 to be precise, and you can actually interchange it with a forehead brush cleaner.
I love this one.
Awesome. This is really great. Now the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because men do have oilier, thicker, coarser skin. Everything from acne to folliculitis has always been an issue. We all know that you guys shave every day, especially professionals. So before you ever shave, wax, anything, it's always emphasized to exfoliate well beforehand. This is ideal for that because you can get a deep cleanse without it irritating your skin.
And people that have facial hair have a lot harder time getting rid of that extra epidermis, and so their pores are a lot more likely to get clogged. And this is the pore cleansing head that you were talking about, Rachel, and they switch off very easily. This Clarisonic Pro actually takes a larger body brush head as well that we've talked about before. It's the reason my Clarisonic stays in the shower because I love that body brush head. But if you change off to the pore cleansing head, this is a very neat head because while it looks like it's just vibrating, it's actually slightly oscillating at on 3 different planes, and it's also vibrating at about 300 times a second. So it does an excellent job of cleaning, and that's really the most important thing if you're wanting to keep your pores unclogged and if you want to keep from getting ingrown hairs, which are the 2 biggest issues for men usually. That's going to do the biggest trick. And I know you mentioned the acne system. That does tend to be more of a men's problem, probably because of the facial hair issue.
Always, and like I can't repeat enough, tougher, thicker, coarser, oilier skin. Half the time when they start caring, they've been working in the sun their entire life to a certain extent, playing sports and everything else. So that's just created even more epidermis to have to worry about. And what's fantastic with the Clarisonic is, as we've always said, you can pair any cleanser with it, so the system can be used with that absolutely in the shower or by the sink. I love Cleansiderm. It's great for acne, and it's just good for general oily skin because this is the normal to dry kid. So that way it's not too harsh. if you're worried about the benzoyl peroxide or anything else from the normal oily kit being too strong.
Right, so the oily kit tends to be a little bit harsher on the cleansoderm, the acne system wise. So if you had someone that had very sensitive skin, you would probably use the dry system even if they're not dry?
Yeah, you could, absolutely. Just because it's the creamier and it's, less, it seems less intense, especially because you actually have to wait in between the cleanser and the toner and the normal oil. But with this, you can just keep going.
So, needless to say, this kicks the butt of any sort of proactive or anything
Oh my
like
gosh,
that.
absolutely. And I love the fact that you have options because everybody's an individual when it comes to their skincare, especially acne. So it makes a big difference.
All right, and so it looks like you have some men's makeup over here. Is that what that is?
We do. So, men, don't panic. It's okay. We have cosmetics for you. We wouldn't even label them as makeup. We have things just to better yourself on a daily basis.
What do they call that actually?
This line is the HE line from Jane Iredale.
It's
This
the
is-
bronzer.
It's the bronzer. And this is really great because it's sunscreen. Now, the reason why I'm emphasizing sunscreens, once again, it's not preached to you guys. You need to know that it's just imperative for you to put on moisturizer and SPF, like anybody else. So the HE line, it allows you to put on a little bit of bronzer that has sunscreen in it. Two birds with one stone, and it does improve your appearance. So if you ever have pictures or a special occasion, it kind of gives you a more even skin tone, and it doesn't look like you have makeup on. So you don't have to worry about having a stereotypical
cool.
approach to it.
Very cool. They can hide it in their bathroom
Absolutely.
if they want to. They don't want anyone to see. So we have a gentleman here that's going to be getting our Gentleman's Spa Day package, and I assume you will be doing his facial.
I will.
Any special things you're going to do in a gentleman's facial versus a woman's facial?
The technique is different. It's actually a little bit more difficult for me to do men's because I'm so accustomed to women's, but you can never go against the growth of the beard or the facial hair, so I have to be careful not to go against the grain whenever I massage or anything like that. The products I use will definitely be more for oily skin because that's just something I always have to emphasize. And for the most part, it's fairly similar in that aspect, but of course less aromatherapy and fluff.
Less aromatherapy. Well, maybe you could make the room smell like baked goods or something.
I know,
Maybe
I
they
was
would like that.
thinking
I don't know. We will see. Well, let's get rolling on this.
Yeah, let's get rolling. This is exciting.
We have Chad here. He's working on this gentleman. He's one of our massage therapists here at Plush Medical Spa. He's always does a fantastic job. So Chad, because today is our men's special, what techniques do you think you do differently, or are there any points of tension that men have in comparison to women? What kind of massage would you use more often?
Well, I would do a deep tissue massage or just a firm pressure massage where I would use the forearm and elbow and give them a little bit more pressure than what I would normally give a woman because the fibers of a man's muscle are much more dense and a man just requires more pressure than what women do. A man, massaging a man, I can give, I think I can give more pressure than what a woman therapist could, and most men, they do prefer more pressure. And
Everybody from athletes, I know, to professionals, everybody gets a little bit of attention, so this probably helps a ton. And there's everything from sports massages to hot stones you can do, and we do couples here, so it helps.
that's correct.
Well, Chad, thank you. I appreciate it.
No
I'm sure this
problem,
gentleman does
Rachel.
too. Okay, so we're here today, and we've got our gentleman here for our men's facial. Now, men's facials are very similar to women's facials, but it's less, like I said earlier, less emphasized on aromatherapy and emphasis on, more of their pores and their pore size than the usual fluff and buff that comes with doing women's facials. So all I have here is Dermalogica products. You probably can't see them right now. I'll hold them each up. I'm going to start with Special Cleansing Gel. With men, I usually just do a Plush and a Rush facial because they're just here to get the hardcore stuff. They don't really need everything else. So I'm going to start with a squirt of Special Cleansing Gel. And by the way, this is a foaming cleanser. It doesn't take a lot. It goes pretty far. And we're going to start with the décolleté, the chest area. Now, like I said earlier, with men, you really have to make sure you're not going against the growth of the beard. You don't want to irritate their skin. And a lot of guys think that they have to shave before they get a facial. That's completely inaccurate. That's not necessary. We're going to be exfoliating your skin, so shaving might actually be more irritating to your skin than do any good. So I'm avoiding his goatee and just working around it. But they're the very same steps that you'll see me do with women's. Just different products usually. We can move on to the exfoliant after I remove the wash. Now for men, you can do anything just like we do with everyone else. We can do microderms during a facial. For purposes today, we'll be using Skin Prep Scrub, which is similar to St. Ives, if you guys are familiar with that, the apricot scrub. So for this is cornmeal, which makes it a little bit better. So just a little bit of that. And apply it just around the facial area. Now don't be afraid to do this at home, gentlemen. You can totally use scrubs in the shower or by the sink. This isn't necessarily something you have to do every day, but maybe 3 times a week tops. It'll keep you feeling renewed. It'll give you a little bit of a glow. Anytime you exfoliate, you're helping your skin out. And like I mentioned before shaving, it's a great idea. So I'm just doing little massage motions. And you always want to go against gravity, even in a men's facial. You notice I'm always pulling up. So when washing your face at home, try to make sure that you do the same. To continue getting a better exfoliation, I'm going to go ahead and use the Clarisonic with this. Now it's supposed to be used for a cleanser, but I actually really enjoy using it during facials for the exfoliant whenever I'm not doing a microderm to get a really, really good layer off the skin. And he's doing fantastic. Now this one's the white one, but it's still the Clarisonic Pro. It's the exact same thing as the gray that we mentioned earlier. What I love about it is it lets me know when to move to the next section. Okay, Dave, how does it feel to you?
It feels like a really good deep clean.
Okay, that's good.
I can tell it's working really nice.
Do you think this is something you'd be able to use every day?
I believe I could use this at the house.
Okay. And this is great too for people who don't want to use a lot of product. So I'm guessing you probably don't do but anything to wash your face, yeah?
No, ma'am, I do not. But I will start using this.
Okay, that's good to hear. Fantastic.
Thank you.
So the next step after we exfoliate is I'm going to go ahead and give him a quick massage. We're going to use the oil-free lotion from Dermalogica. I really enjoy that. Because like I've always said, men are usually oilier. They don't really need all that extra. It smells great, feels good, but it's still lightweight, which is soothing because you don't want to... I hate when people walk out of facials feeling like they're fresh, they're not clean. You know it's not a good facial if you feel greasy after. I think that's the #1 complaint from people who don't know what they're doing. Also during the facial, usually I'd be running the steam. The stomach prefers not to, but that's also an option. You can also do extractions. Any of that. He doesn't look like he needs them too bad today. Since he's probably going to go through more torture, I'll give him a break and just jump straight to the massage. Now, just like Chad mentioned, with men it's easier for me to use a deeper tissue kind of pressure. You always want to make the client feel comfortable though. So whenever I do massage during the facial, I always try to warm them up for it if I'm putting any kind of deep tissue into it. And I always hit sinus pressure points too. And once again, I'm trying to move up but avoid the goatee area. And if you guys ever feel me do the signature move, you know it's coming to an end. And back to the temples and down. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the oil-free massage lotion. You can use a hot towel or sponges for this. If you ever get the opportunity to receive a massage, know that they're supposed to remove all of that before they go on to the next step. The mask I've chosen for him today is the Colloidal Mask Base. It's a clear mask gel, has a lot of aloe in it, it's just soothing, which is great. I always try to apply my mask with a brush. And usually I've done enough extractions and used enough exfoliating product that a soothing mask will suit him just fine. I try to apply directly from my wrist because usually the mask temperature is pretty cold. I don't want to shock him. And we'll let that sit for about 10 minutes. So after, all we have to do is we're going to grab this hot towel here. I always check the temperature on my wrist before I put it on the client. Drape across his chest, warm him up, and then wrap it around, making sure he can breathe. And gently remove it. Now his skin should feel very refreshed.
I'm Dr. Amanda Bell with Plush Medical Spa. I do Botox, Dysport, and dermal filler treatments, as well as Thermage skin tightening procedures here at Plush. The spa also offers massage, facials, chemical peels, microdermabrasion, waxing, eyelash and eyebrow tinting, manicures and pedicures. We carry all Obagi medical skincare lines and Jane Iredale Cosmetics. Buy a spa package for a special someone or schedule your own free skincare consultation today. Call 702-6869 and visit us online, plushmedspa.com. Hi, Mr. Nally. I'm Dr. Bell.
Dr. Bell, how are you?
I'm well. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
They have you down for a Botox and Dysport appointment today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
All right.
That's
Well, I saw that you signed your consent form, so I guess that means you're in for this.
Me.
Is this your first time?
It is, actually.
Okay. Well, we use two different types of botulinum toxin here. We use Botox and Dysport. They're both botulinum toxin type A, and they both last the same length of time when used at an equivalent dose.
All right.
The Dysport works a little bit quicker, but that's going to be the biggest difference that most people see between the two.
Okay.
The Dysport is about 10% cheaper, and they do have a rebate going on right now. So we tend to use Dysport quite a bit more than Botox lately.
Yeah.
They're both perfectly good products, but if something's a little bit cheaper and works a little bit quicker,
Absolutely.
we tend to use that in most circumstances.
I agree with that.
So what areas were you thinking about eliminating the wrinkles from?
The crow's feet, kind of a problem, and in the lines above my eyebrows.
Go ahead and smile and squint for me. Okay, so you do have quite a bit, but it is pretty standard for someone that's 50. You actually look younger than your age. Raise your brows up for me and lower them, and raise them again and lower them. Normally in men, and now there's a pretty standard dose for certain areas of the face, but normally in men we tend to use a little bit more of the toxin than we use in women.
Okay.
And that's usually because there's more muscle mass in a man than there is in a woman, and we use the amount of toxin proportional to muscle mass. So in you, I think I would pretty much start with a fairly standard dose just to see if we could get away with using that little.
Okay.
For multiple reasons. One being that in men, I like to leave a little bit of motion in the forehead. I don't want anyone to have a frozen forehead. And certainly in men, I would even more like you to have motion. Just a little bit. Maybe not totally eliminate every single line, but certainly give you a big decrease in what you've got going on and save you from making the lines that you have more permanent.
Okay.
In the crow's feet area, I think we can do a pretty good job of eliminating most of those. The little bit of lines that you have at rest, even without squinting and smiling, should be softened somewhat by lessening the tone in those muscles at rest. Same thing for the forehead. So we'll try to underdose your forehead in a way so that we don't totally make your brows drop way down here by making those muscles totally flaccid.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, what I'll probably do then is use a dose that's probably good for about 2 areas, and we'll try to address 3 areas in you. The crow's feet area, the forehead, and a little bit of this in between here too, just so you don't get that, the permanent lines there that you're starting to get. Go ahead and put your brows together for me. We see you're really good at that. You've got good muscle tone there. Very good muscle tone. Well, the amount that I was planning to use is about 120 units of Dysport, or the equivalent dose in Botox would be about 40 units. And in Botox, that's about $450 without any discount. In Dysport, it's $396. So
Okay.
you can see there's a big difference there. You'll also be getting 20% off because you're a referral client. Anyone that gets referred gets a good discount.
Thank you.
So that's going to get it down to about $317 with the Dysport. There's also a $50 rebate going on right now. So you're
Okay.
going to get $50 back through the mail. So when
Great.
all is said and done,
That's
your
awesome.
final cost will be about $267.
That's very cool.
A lot
Thank you.
better than
Yeah.
$450
Absolutely.
in Botox. So,
Yes.
all right then, well, we'll go ahead and get started then. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is use some alcohol pads to clean off the areas that we're going to inject. You can just relax back if at all possible and at least put your head back in a way
Thank you.
that doesn't require a lot of muscle. We'll just clean up. You don't have makeup on like most women do when they come to see me, so it's actually a pretty quick putting the alcohol on and allowing it to dry. That does a very nice job. So what you'll feel is just a little pinch of the needle. You may hear a little crunching sound, and that would be your collagen layer as the needle goes through it. Collagen crunches, so don't be afraid that the needle's broken in your head just because you hear a crunching sound.
Okay.
So raise your brows for me and lower them and raise them and lower them. And here's your first injection. Raise and lower. I'm going to keep these injections pretty high and lower. Raise up. I'm going to come around to the other side for that other one. So go ahead and put your brows together for me and let them go. Let's relax the area. These are kind of smart a little bit more than the others, and I think it's because we're so close to the nose. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The eye ones are not going to smart like that one. Smile and squint and let it go. So you thought I was kidding, but they really don't hurt as much.
Oh, that don't hurt.
I really think the one right on top of the nose between the brows is the worst. Okay, I'm going to come around. Raise up your brows and down. Very good. You're all finished. Let me get an alcohol pad and clean you up. The little bit of volume you see here will go away in about 10 or 15 minutes, and then no one will be able to tell that you had a darn thing done. Probably by tomorrow evening, you should notice a decrease in motion in these areas. And then I'll want to see you back in a week to see if we need to add any more,
Okay.
which we may very well need to. And but if all you need is a small, tiny touch-up, I do that for free. So don't think I'm going to leave you hanging if you have one eyebrow a little bit higher than the other. We can fix that at a week. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Well, it was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'll
Thank
see you in a
very
week.
much.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Dr. Bell, how are you, ma'am?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good. Great.
It's been a week.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
put your brows together?
I can.
Uh-huh. But not like you were, and you're not
No.
making these giant lines there anymore. Put them
Right.
together again for me. Put them together. Good.
Okay.
Now raise them up. Excellent. You've got just a little bit of lineage going there at the bottom portion, but you don't have the rows and rows and rows all the way up to the top
Right.
like you used to have. And I think
Huge
that's
improvement.
really, really natural, a really nice natural look,
Yes, ma'am.
because
Absolutely.
no one's going to realize that you've had Dysport in your forehead if it still moves like that.
Correct.
So smile and squint. So your crow's feet look a lot better too. Everything looks a lot softened and a lot more natural, which is really what I want for a man, because
Right.
you don't want to look like a woman. You
Yeah,
want to look
not
like
at
just
all.
a softer, a little bit
Yeah.
softer version of yourself, a little bit less angry version
Exactly.
of yourself.
That's what I was going for.
Well, excellent. Let me know if I can do anything else for you.
Sure will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
We'd like to say thank you to David for the men's show tonight. Wow, that was great, Dr. Bell.
Yes, it's always nice to have a man come in and get a good treatment and get a great
Uh-huh.
result.
Men can do it too, here at Plush Medical Spa.
Send all your men in for facials and waxing and anything they want. But we want to remind everyone to check out the website, plushmedspa.com, and be our friend on Facebook, and you'll find out all the latest deals and specials we have going on. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Bye.
This has been Plush Tonight with Dr. Amanda Bell. Thanks for watching.